Get in the zone. Dean Scale Model Zone. Hey everybody, Dean here from Dean Scale Model Zone. I'm checking back in with you. It's been a while. Sorry about that. Been pretty busy and weekends and things with the holidays. Haven't had much model building time. But anyways, it's Sunday and I thought I'd get in any model cars and coffee. Thank you to Paul from Left Coast Model Car Builds for the idea of model cars and coffee. So anyways, I was going to check in and do a quick little video today with one of my builds that I finished this past year, and then I'll do another video later today with what I've added to my stash lately. It's model cars, but then I'm also going back to I've been delving back into what I started out with as a little kid, which was armor. I like Frank Donati from the Model Insanity podcast. I grew up in Germany, and I was an Air Force brat, and I remember back in the 70s going down to the little hobby. It was a toy store, but they had a hobby section of models. Cars is my thing now, but anyways, I started out with building a lot of armor. They used to have little Matchbox tanks. Matchbox made a group of a series of armor tanks and half tracks are the things I remember, but they came with little diorama scenes, bases, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I would still be neat to find if somebody did that. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe Matchbox even does those anymore. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm starting to ramble. But yeah, I started out in armor, and then explored the other genres like aircraft and even a couple ships. Little did I know I'd end up in the Navy. Maybe after I got out of the Navy, I was just glad to be away from ships for a while. But anyways, so back onto today's model cars and coffee. I'm gonna cover the Revell kit. It's the oh man, what was it? The 67 Camaro, and it's the let's see if I find the box here. Anyways, I'll find it. I'll get back to you, and then we'll get on with it. I don't want to hold you up too long. Anyways, let me get you turned around, and I'll get on with it. All right. All right. So here we have the Revell Nickey 67 Camaro that I painted it with Model Car World's lacquer Madeira Maroon Metallic, and this is one of the actual colors that was available as an option with the original car, and it's a really nice paint. This was a gloss. I did clear coat it later after the decals. But anyways, yeah. Oops. So, coffee in my cup there. Yeah, really nice paint. I had a little, it's polished out. I had a little difficulty here getting in some of the little nooks and crannies on the hood. But overall, Really nice kit. Um, it's I just realized one of the wipers is missing. I think this thing has been gone to several shows. And during that time, it's a little, some things in here and there have been not as good as when I first finished it. But anyways, yeah, so Madeira Maroon Metallic from Model Car World. I'll put that there. Really nice car. I had difficulty with the kit came with red lines to put decals to put on the wheels, and I could not get them. For me, a nice perfect circle. I just felt like they were a little wavy here and there, and then on top of that, I had a difficulty with getting no silvering, basically the decal film showing up on the tires. So anyways, the kit wheels, I was thinking of ordering and changing out the wheels, but yeah, really nice kit. The door handles were separate, so they're nicely detailed. The interior, I went with I was looking online to do something instead of this typical black interior or something, and I saw that an option was the black on white, or white parchment, they called it. But basically it was, you can get it like the white seats and the door panels were like an off-white. So I used Tamiya's Racing White, which is, I feel it matched pretty closely here. And then I taped it off, and I sprayed a semi-gloss black for the trim that goes around it, on the insert, on the seats and stuff. And then the doors were two-tone as well. I did add some photo etch from the what was it? The Detail Masters. They come with a whole set of photo etch parts for the dash, the console, and I added as much detail or photo etch as I felt comfortable with at the time. Seat belts with the buckles. Also, here on the back, no, that was decal. I did add the photo etch keyhole here on the ends, and then bare metal foil around the windows, trim. I always have struggle with this piece here, so I do as much bare metal foil as I can, and then I touch it up with a chrome paint. Lately, I've been using the Fusion Firm. That does really nice touch up on the chrome parts. See, I had a little piece from the handling and moving around came off here. I'll need to touch that up. But also, like with the bumpers, when I don't know why they put where you clip the chrome pieces off the tree here. When you clip it off, it always seems to, it leaves the bit down to the bare plastic. So I touched up the chrome there as well. The grill is stock from the kit. I do have again, like I said, the photo etch detail set includes a grill, but I thought this one was nice enough, and I just did some Tamiya black wash in there. And one of the other things I had a little difficulty with was I did glue the rear valance in place before painting, but the front piece I glued after, because when you mount it to the chassis, here's a pretty basic chassis, not a lot to it. I should do I'm going to do some weathering maybe to it. But yeah, when you, this was one of those where you have to get the chassis into the body and then glue the front, like the front valance in place, which isn't always the easiest once you've got paint and stuff on. So there's a little bit of glue that unfortunately oozed out, and it's one of those things I'm learning. All the rest are decals. I struggled with deciding whether to do, I don't know if back then they included the front striping here, but I don't know if they would do both at the same time. But on the box it had both. I think it had both. I threw away the box, but anyways, I thought it looked cool, so I did the front and the rear stripe. I just noticed I got some wax build up in the corners here. I'll have to brush that out with a soft toothbrush. Everything else was pinned in place. The door handles, the mirrors, I pinned them, so because and one thing I noticed, and I think one of the shows, it was tilted a little bit. I must have bumped it, so I'll glue it back in place. But yeah, it as you can see when moving it around, this and that, it didn't break off, but it's still there. Maybe I'll do the same thing. I'll pin the other. I did find and save the wiper blade, so I'll have to add that. So anyways, I'll show you the engine. I did do a little detailing with the engine. See, again, I'll have to find or make another hinge here for the hood. But yeah, the engine, I added plug wires. Went with red instead of yellow, the dreaded yellow, right? I figured the engine block, everything was yellow, so I just did contrasting plug wires. Tried to get the firing order, I believe is pretty close. Anyways, had some decals added to the interior. Here's photo etch radiator cap. Did a little dark wash on the master cylinder. Yeah, a little, nothing very overly crazy, but it was a nice kit. Interesting thing to note, it is polished out, wet sanded and then polished out. And one of the things I got dinged for at PAX-Con it's an IPMS run show, but what I enjoyed about going to the like that PAX-Con, and hopefully other open IPMS shows will be like PAX-Con did this year on the register, your little registration paper. When they critique it and review it, it's driving me crazy. They write notes on the back of what they found, what they dinged you for. Basically, they'll deduct points or whatever. And for this one, they actually, or they found and they said that I had some swirl marks or obviously where I had polished it and left some swirl marks. So make sure you go, if you do choose to go to shows. Like I said, I enjoy it just to get, well, for one thing, to support the shows, because without many models being on the table, even if I'm not worried about winning or getting trophies or whatever, but it's cool I like it just to see where I stack up against others, but then also to support the shows, because with no models on the tables, the shows will come to an end, So even if, like I said, I don't, because the other competition is just so insane and incredible, but it's so cool to see. And again, it supports the hobby, supports the shows, the clubs, doing their the shows. So anyways, yeah, so let me get back. I was dinged, or they found some swirl marks from the wet sanding or polishing. So in the future, I'll if I want to really, step up my game. Don't have to. I'm pretty content with it. It looks good on my shelf. The other thing that I'm kind of confused about was they said the alignment. Now, I'm not sure what they mean by that. Like maybe my wheels, or like this one here, was a little loose, so maybe it was off like that. Some camber. I don't know, but I didn't see anybody pick anything up. They just looked at it up there on the table, but so maybe this wheel's a little bit inward. So I do glue them in place, well, at least from turning, so they don't roll off my shelf or anything. But anyways, if you do, something I'll be paying close attention to in the future is maybe gluing it to make sure it doesn't maybe wobble. But yeah, my steering wheel is aligned with like pointing straight, as well as the wheels. So if the wheels were turned, like I had on one of my Tamiya kits that had posable steering, the steering was fixed straight, but my wheels were turned. So I know it's kind of petty, but whatever. A little Tamiya city car, it looks pretty good. So yeah, this was a nice kit. Hard to go wrong with some of these old Revell kits. And I really got some wax in there, don't I? To clean out. Anyways, so yeah, Revell's Nickey Camaro 427. Really nice kit. I recommend it. And hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, y'all take care. And be sure to... thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you like. And be sure to check out all the other channels out there. One of my fellow friends I enjoy watching. He's always a hoot to watch and listen to. Ed's Shoot Dang Models. You can zoom in on the back on there. And also Glenn from 60s Rules. Not Glenn. 60s Rules channel. And Dan? I get everybody's names mixed up sometimes. So anyways, I don't have any shop cars yet. I'm working on that, maybe for 2026. Be sure to check out some other channels. Thank you for watching mine. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And share with your friends. And be sure to find some time to relax and get into your scale model zone. Until next time, we all take care and have a Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.